Welcome back to the Park Kids to Park Dads podcast. I'm Adam, joined here by my brother Mitch. Uh, and today we are gonna just give kind of a quick update and rundown of all the changes that are going on in Walt Disney World at the moment. A lot of reimagineering and updates happening. So wanted to take an episode and kind of walk through what's going on, where we are in the timelines, what to expect, all that kind of good stuff. So Mitch, why don't you kick us off with some of what's going on right now?
Yeah. So, welcome back for another riveting episode. A few weeks hiatus, but back in the action. A lot of stuff going on in our personal lives. But jump right in with something that just opened recently last week. Buzz Lightyear. So Space Ranger Spin is now back officially open and operational. A few updates to that ride. Some new targets added. The guns that are now removable and not so stationary where you're like this. Um, and kept get that picture captured there at the end. You're always face down next to the laser. But yeah, so some new things in there. I think there's some videos on YouTube, people on TikTok, people have posted during the soft opening. So I'm excited to see that.
That one,
Um,
that one now doesn't spin on its own, or excuse me, it navigates on its own versus you having the joystick, right? So you don't spin it in circles anymore. You it on a normal pathway, right?
right. Yep.
Nice.
And they added some different animations in that tunnel that spins, like the stars and stuff spins. So there's some different animations there. So some really cool videos of that out there online. Next big one in Magic Kingdom is going to be the Big Thunder opening up May 26th. So you're going to see a lot of these things are starting to open up right before busy season hits. A lot of stuff going on right in the middle of May, towards the end of May, right after Mother's Day weekend. So,
Wearing a shirt
so
for it.
yeah, so Big Thunder opening up in May. Can't say that I'm, overly excited for that ride, but I'll definitely go on it next time I'm there and check it out and see what the difference is. Maybe it'll win me over this time. Because as
Probably
it
not.
hasn't for the last 36 years. So,
Fair enough.
another ongoing item, which I'm happy to see, as I prefer the classic look down Main Street. The painting of the castle started this January as an ongoing. The cranes are up every day in Magic Kingdom, and they usually come down around 12:30. If you're getting your early morning pictures on Main Street, I believe they Photoshop them out for you. If you got the pass and all that stuff, but otherwise, wait till the afternoon.
Hmm. And they're
And
done
then I'm
with
gonna.
that now, right? They're done with the
It's not.
painting, or is it still
It's
ongoing?
it's still going on. Still ongoing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I know the whole backside was done when we were there, Felicia and I. But the front side still had small sections that were pink. So
Yeah, I think a lot of the gold work still has to be done. Uh, So last I checked a couple days ago, it was still
yes,
ongoing.
gotcha.
Up and over at Epcot, Run Across America. It's coming back for the 250th anniversary of America. So that is also happening May 26th, 2026. So I'm a big fan of Soarin' myself. I know a lot of people have kind of passed that, ride over quite a bit more often now than they did when it first came out. So I'm excited to get back on there, and that was actually one of my more of my favorite um, scenes that they've done with Soarin'.
Yeah, it's always it's cool enough to be fun, but chill enough not to be, you know, I'm not a big fan, as I've talked about before, of like the screens with the seats that move. But Soren doesn't ever affect me in a negative way, and it's one of my favorite ones as well. So excited to see what that looks like.
And it's something that the kids can go on now. My kids, your kids went on. I think James went on for the first time. Vincent M went on for the first time, but they, scared at first, but absolutely loved it by the time it was over with, and we're excited for it. So, um, yeah, I remember when I first went on, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." I mean, it was kind of very new technology for the time when it launched, but I think we've come a long way since then. But yeah, it's a classic now at this point. Um, Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run is getting a new launch mission based around the Mandalorian. So that is also in May of this coming next month here in a couple weeks. Like I said, I've never been on the ride personally, so I don't know. You could kind of speak to that if you'd be interested in seeing that or not.
I don't love the ride personally. That ride I think is a lot of it is dictated on how your pilot is, because you have one pilot that goes left right, one pilot that goes up down with the pitch. So if you don't have someone who's knows what they're doing or coordinated, or you're a little kid, you're the entire thing vibrates the whole time as you bang into things. So, um, but it is what it is. If there's no line, I'll go on it, but I'm not gonna. It's not a 40-minute wait ride for me.
Yeah, I
Definitely,
think the last time I was there is at like 70 minutes, and I'm like, I can't.
it was
I'm
longer
not,
than Rise last time I was there, which is
and
crazy to me.
and,
But
I'm not a big Hollywood Studios fan. I think as we've talked in the past, it's probably my least favorite park out of everything.
mhm.
If not third on the fourth ranking out of four rankings. But and my kids can't really enjoy, I guess, or in the past when we went there. The last time we were there, we got the 3-day park special, where it was $99 a day. So that was one of the parks we didn't go to. We went to Animal Kingdom instead, where they can do the safari and that and Rafiki's
And watch.
uh Planet Watch and stuff like that. So they weren't old enough or big enough to even get on some of the rides at that time. But yeah, so heading over to well, staying there, you have the Magic Disney Animation Studios, which opens up this summer. That is more of a walkthrough kind of thing. You get to see videos and interactions, or a lot more interactive space, uh, all around Disney's design of their animation studios, which I think is really cool. I'm into that kind of stuff. I think the more of a I say museum-esque, but kind of like for our local people like the most. It's very interactive. It's very kid-friendly. It's not like Walt's Dream where you're walking through and everything's behind glass.
Right. They just put up a sorcerer's hat like
Yes.
yesterday or something, right? In that space.
Yeah. I hate to say that's I don't think that well that's more in the courtyard. But I think that's I don't know. I don't think it looks great. Mom sent it to me and I was like, I think it looks a little too
Looks
I don't
stiff.
know. Yes. Yeah. It's not
That's the
it's
first
not
one.
rounded. It's very more it's very triangly
Right.
as opposed to a round hat. So um but
I
yeah,
thought,
so look what's this the same thing?
yeah, I thought the same thing. That
Yeah.
it was like almost wedged, right? Like we need the hat. People have talked about the hat. Fantasia's, one of the big animation breakthroughs and blah blah blah. Stick the hat here, and it's a very cone. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
sorcerer's hat, so it's going to be cone shaped and whatnot. But it just didn't like the Mickey one kind of leans over a little bit or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's more like a slice of pizza than it is a hat. So
Yeah, I
the
get
shape
you.
was.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's also Animation Courtyard opens up May of 26. So that's the previous animation area that they had. I believe it's the Manny and Friends
Disney
and stuff
Junior.
like that. Disney Junior area, yes. So,
Yeah,
um, Bingo and Bluey come into Animal Kingdom at the conservation station.
it's gonna
I
be
say that
huge.
3 times fast. Yes. And my kids have seen some commercials and videos and stuff on it, and they're super excited for it. That's going to be a massive thing for Disney, I think, and having their own area, and like, I'm sure the lines and the crowds and that's going to be pretty epic.
I'm nervous for that because the only way to get back to the conservation station is a train. So and it's not a huge space. It was an education space, not a entertaining space. So I know they're going to take up more ground with it, obviously, right? Just going to expand that space, but I'm hoping they do. I don't know how they'll get everyone back there on the trains because especially when it opens, it's going to be one of the most hyped things in Animal Kingdom since Pandora.
Yeah, I think it'll be at capacity quite a bit. If they don't add a ton more space, I think they'll have to add in another form of transportation. I mean, you can walk back there, I believe,
I don't
but it's a
know.
really, really, really long walk. Um, I mean, I might be wrong, but I feel like there was a comment made like, "Oh, we don't need to wait for the train. We can walk back to,"
Well, if that's the case,
which is
that'll help.
possible. But
Yeah, they can
at the
do
same
some stuff
time,
on the sides, but yeah.
upgrade the trains to something different. So who knows? That'll all come down to. I mean, they have to, I guess, assume that it's going to be that big.
Mhm.
So, we'll see.
I think that might be the fastest Disney's ever done something in a park based on a TV or movie situation. Because Bluey
Mm.
hasn't been around that long, like
No, and
3, 4 years, 5 years maybe.
maybe a little bit longer, but it didn't get big until probably four or
How many?
5 years ago.
Okay.
But and I think too. I mean, you look around and the other parks, and there's a lot of TV stations like Handy Mandy and Doc McStuffins and stuff. It took years for them to get in, and then they kind of brought Bingo and Bluey into the park itself as characters pretty quickly, and then brought into their land within, I don't know, maybe 2 years. They brought in a year and a half that made this land for them, this area for them. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, I'm a Bluey fan as a 36-year-old adult. Uh, the Bluey shorts are always hilarious.
They're funny.
Um, Level 99, opening up in Disney Springs. So that is coming this summer. I think that's really cool. I missed having the what's it called?
Game
The old
Quest?
arcade, Disney Quest. Yes,
Disney Quest? Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed Disney Quest. I thought it was really cool, and we used to go there probably at least once or twice a trip, late nights, and um, it was a kind of a that came out when all the state of the art virtual reality stuff started coming out. So it was a little bit ahead of its time, and but then if you don't keep up with it, it doesn't sit well. I mean, it's not like the old classic arcades, which they did have there. The pinball machines, Centipede, Asteroids, that kind of stuff will always be a staple. But the racing games and that kind of stuff, I think they'll need to get more into simulators and things like that, which I think would be.
Yeah. And to your point, those don't age super well. Virtual reality from even 3 years ago compared to today, like grab an old Oculus and one of the old games on an Oculus versus what it's now Meta, but you know what I mean? Grab one of those now and it's night and day. And that's just 3 years. And the infrastructure for Disney Quest would have required a lot of um updates
Mhm.
constantly. And I think that's but level 99, hopefully they have that game plan with it, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, they're supposed to have a really nice restaurant, bar, and stuff in there too. Multiple food outlets. So it's a little bit more expensive, and I think it's gonna be a nice touch to Disney Springs and kind of take away a little bit more from the shopping district of it, and more so the
Entertainment.
Disney Entertainment.
Got you.
Well, that's what I got for 2026. As we head into 2027 and beyond, unless you had something else for 2026 that I missed.
I do. The Muppets take over Rock and Roller Coaster. That starts, I think, the 26th of this month. It'll
Summer of
be
26, it's in.
summer 26th. Maybe it was
Yeah,
June of 26,
yeah.
June 26th. But either way, I saw they were releasing on TikTok the track list for the roller coaster, which is kind of cool, a kind of a cool way for them to do it. And I think with something like that too, it gets you the same way Guardians is. People try to ride it to get the songs they want as well. So that's kind of cool. So that's opening in the next couple months, and
2 months,
then
believe it or not.
yeah, well, it's crazy that we're already in.
Halfway through April. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross. Oh, the weather finally broke, but don't worry, it'll be 35 degrees again this weekend.
Yeah,
Uh,
80 today.
yeah,
Thursday,
it's
Friday.
smoking hot outside today, which is awesome. The other thing that I had come across was that they got permits and started. I think they've started construction or started clearing um, a 4,000 square foot building next to the Haunted Mansion. And there's some speculation that it's one of two things. The first one is gift shop. They have the small Memento Mori gift shop that's kind of on the corner that goes up towards Rapunzel's
Yeah,
Tower, or you go
yeah.
towards Frontierland. But the other speculation is that it's a bar that is the Haunted Mansion themed bar, like they have apparently in Disneyland. I've never been to that. I haven't taken the opportunity. I just saw this today. So I haven't done a ton of research on it. But from what people say, it's one of the best theme bars in all of Disney properties.
Well, and you take for so long, alcohol was not a thing in Magic Kingdom.
Hmm.
And I think it gets to the point where, adults are going to be there for 14, 16 hours in a day or whatever the case may be, sun up to sundown. There's got to be a little bit of a relaxation station, so to speak. And you bring in Tortuga Tavern and you add now this, which possibly, this into the mix. Um, I mean, you can get your sit down drinks and stuff in restaurants, which was, you couldn't used to do that either. So I think they slowly started moving to this place. They'll never,
Lean into it.
they'll make sure that it's never to the effect of Epcot or Hollywood Studios.
Right. I agree. And if it is a bar, I'm curious how they handle it. Is it like an Oga's cantina where it's standing room only, some high tops, some small finger type things because they don't want people hanging out in the bar too long. To your point, it's not going to lean in like Epcot and the other ones.
Yeah, I think it's a
Uh,
45-minute wait or limit or an
uh,
hour limit at Tortuga.
yeah, it's something like that. There's a timeline, I think. Um, or does it become not a sit down restaurant almost, but a sit down bar like Abracadabra on the
Yeah.
boardwalk,
Yep.
something something like that.
The
So,
wine cellar in
mhm,
Italy.
right. So
Cool. Yeah, I did not know that, and that's pretty interesting.
yeah, that's a new one I saw today. So pretty cool.
Yeah, my
So
vote's for the latter. Yeah,
did you have
Uh,
anything for the 27?
yeah. So 27. You got the Americas opening up at Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So Encanto got a few rides there. Indiana Jones taking over Dinosaur, which to be honest with you, I'm not too excited about. I think Indiana Jones is kind of past its prime.
Yeah.
Um, the
Are they
show
coming out with a
even
new movie or something? I feel like it's got to be something in the works.
possibly, I know they came out with a movie. I don't know, it had to be 8, 10 years ago now at this point. Um, I mean, don't quote me, but if at the very least it feels that long. I enjoy Indiana Jones. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good series.
Hmm.
But I think that there could have been something else done with Dinosaur to make it a little bit more
Well,
relevant to today.
but the dinosaur ride is the same ride system as the Indiana Jones ride
Hmm.
in the other Disney parks. So it's the
Yeah,
same. I mean, it won't look like a Dio car anymore, right? Like that
yeah.
space shuttle
I
thing. But
I mean, I get that. Like, keep the track, keep the car, or whatever. Do that, but theme in something different. I think
I get
you could have gone newer. You could have gone into, gosh, I mean, I don't know. There's so many Disney movies out there.
could have done
Um,
Tarzan or something.
yeah,
I mean, trying to keep the what's it called? The Animal Kingdom
theming.
theming.
Well, I guess it's in the Americas, right? A lot of his stuff takes place in South America and Egypt and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I don't know that Pocahontas would have worked there. That's more of a Magic Kingdom type of thing than Animal Kingdom. But I was just trying to think of like ones in nature, Brother Bear, which I didn't like. Uh, there's not a,
it's a
I mean,
decent
there's a
movie.
ton, but there's a lot of them are like the classic ones, not the newer
Right.
ones. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, anyways, sorry. But
No, that's fine. So yeah, you got that whole area. You got Villains, Cars Land, Monsters Inc. coming. So yeah, you got Monstropolis, which is I think is they got a roller coaster for that area. So that'll be exciting. I think Disney needs another roller coaster. And then you got a Lakeshore Lodge, which is opening up in 2027, which is over by Fort Wilderness area. So
do
that's
you
it. That's kind of what I had in my list. But
do you think that they're going to add another resort in the near future?
I think they're going to add one probably more towards Animal Kingdom area.
Yeah,
Not
there's
much
a lot
out
of
that
empty
way.
space out there.
Yeah, not much out that way. It's a little bit farther off property. I think you're getting to the point now where it's very congested, resort on top of resort, which is great for transportation purposes. But at the same time, I think they're going to spread out a little bit more.
Did and this is something that we saw during the Easter holiday. Um, and you said, I think you said maybe I don't remember if it was on here or otherwise, but they took the Disney Springs buses and they made
Yes.
people show that they were resort guests at a Disney hotel. Because what people like Felicia and I did, now this wouldn't have applied to us apparently, because we were staying at a a Disney Springs hotel, I guess. But you had to show either reservations um, or plans or a
yeah,
Disney pass for one of the Disney resorts to use the buses in Disney Springs to go to other resorts.
which isn't
Um,
so far off of what they do for like the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian and stuff. You can't even get in there without showing that, like, if you're driving in, you can't
Driving,
get in
right?
without showing that you have a breakfast reservation or dinner, some kind of reservation, or you're visiting a guest inside the hotel.
Right.
So
I mean, Felicia and I did every morning after the first day. I mean, granted, it was 3 mornings, so 2 mornings. We walked over to Disney Springs and caught a bus somewhere. Granted, we didn't realize, and you told me this, I didn't realize we were allowed early entry, being at the Disney Hilton or the Hilton Disney Springs, um, the Lake Buena Vista one. So we stood in line outside Epcot the one day, not knowing we could have been walking around already, but it's all good.
living
Um,
there.
yep, and Eagle Labs, not a sponsor. So, um, so yeah, no, I don't have much else. Just those two little tidbits I threw out there. I'm I'm looking forward to a lot of it. I will do another update in a couple months. Just, talk through kind of what's changed and what else is coming. They did just announce the Disney movies that are coming out over the next 4 years. They listed the roadmap, which will be interesting too, to see if any of the things in the parks get changed or
Based on that,
adjusted
yeah,
based on the movies, which will be
yeah,
cool. So, yep,
yeah. It's a new Toy Story movie coming out.
yeah, Toy Story 26, I think it is. Uh, kind of ended after 3 for me, but it was
Wait,
a
there's
great,
more than 3? No.
yeah, Mr. Forky. So what we're going to do now is we are going to hit Mitch with some trivia stuff. Some of these are softballs. I wanted to really build your confidence for the next time we do this,
Yeah,
and then
that's it.
I slam you because I'm usually like 38%. So I'm going to give you something so you can tell all your friends. So, first question. What major park expansion replaced much of the former Streets of America area at Hollywood Studios?
Say that again.
What major park expansion replaced much of the former Streets of America area at Hollywood Studios?
Oh, Star Wars.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Yep. Which classic Epcot attraction closed in 2016 to make way for Frozen Ever After? What was it called?
Maelstrom.
The Maelstrom. That is correct. Very good. 2 for 2. What Magic
Terrible on
Kingdom?
tests. I always forget when it comes down to like
What Magic Kingdom
pressure test.
area underwent a major expansion, adding attractions like the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train?
Fantasyland.
That is correct. What land replaced Camp Mini Mickey at Disney's Animal Kingdom?
What land? Pandora.
Yes, that is correct. Pandora, the
I
World
was
of Ed.
like Asia, Africa. Like
No, those were there,
that's
right?
all. Those are all staples. Was like
All right.
conservation station's gonna be bingo.
This one is in the name of the project they called it. So, what major overhaul transformed Epcot into 4 neighborhoods, which would be like World Celebration, World Discovery, so on and so forth. So, what was the name of the project that was that big overhaul? Do you know that one?
I don't.
Okay, it's super on the nose that I didn't know that you'd even guess it. The Epcot Reimagining Project, which is yeah, it wasn't like Project Emerald or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, this is like
something.
Project 42, 2042 or some shit.
Yeah. Which Hollywood Studios area was transformed into Toy Story Land in 2018? This one has 2 answers, but I'll take either one.
Um, think of the backlot area.
That's what's one half of the answer. Yep.
Um, Backlot, Lights, Motors, Action. No, that's Streets of America side.
Think of the
Backlot, Muppets.
no.
No, what? Oh, because
It
Muppets
is
just went to
called Pixar Place. It was
Oh, yeah.
all that area
Yep.
over there. Yep.
Yep.
What longtime Epcot nighttime show was replaced by Harmonious in 2021?
Illuminations, Reflections of Earth.
That's
One
it.
of the best shows of ever.
That's it. And then last one, easy. Which nighttime show at Magic Kingdom replaced Wishes in 2017?
Placed Wishes. Oh man, I haven't been
I
to
watched it. I
probably the
watched it
fire
Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
Happily Ever After.
That's it. Happily ever after.
I haven't seen the fireworks show at nighttime since Wishes.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you guys stayed with them and Vince one night.
No.
Felicia and I listened to it from the bus line when we were there last time.
Yeah,
But I've
I
seen
can
it
still
on
sing every word of Wishes.
YouTube like
I'll
100
save
times.
I'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, we'll have you wear a drinking shirt and sing that for
I'll have to have a
for the
few drinks
fans.
in order to do that. So
Fair enough. So anything else you want to close with? You went 7 for 8. That was impressive run
not too shabby.
for an easier list, but good one across the board.
Project
all things to
Epcot.
do with all things to do with renovations if you picked up on or
Yeah.
changes if you picked up on the theme. So
Yeah, I'd go 6.5 because I only got half of the one question.
the Pixar Place backlot tour one. Yeah. I missed
hard
that backlot tour.
It was hard to picture in my head like where the lands were.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I did like backlot tour a lot too, actually.
I got a video somewhere. I think it's on Felicia's iCloud or Google Photos or something. I got picked to do the water fight scene, like the making a movie for that.
I do
So
remember that.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Fancy.
I liked walking through the queue when there was all the racks of all the other what's it called?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit stuff and the props.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
stuff. That was cool.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I think that
that's
is it for us today. Thank you for sticking around. Do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Throw a question down there, what you're looking forward to the most in the renovations. If you're Uncle Bob, why you're sad that the rivers of America are gone and Tom Sawyer Island went with it. So otherwise, we appreciate you. Thanks very much.
Yep. See you next time.